Chip Chat. Hey, folks, it's Chris Waters here live on stage at E3. GameSpot Stage 1 live demo cavalcade. Day 2. Did I say day 1? I feel like I might have been saying day 1 a lot today. It's day 2, and we've got Killzone Mercenary up now. I've got Sam on stage from Gorilla Cambridge to talk about Killzone going to the Vita. Sam, welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Cool. Get that mic a little closer.
Sorry.
That's quite all right. You literally just stepped on stage right before we started, so we haven't really had a chance to talk about Killzone Mercenary and what you guys came to show off here today.
Yep. No, that's our game, Killzone Mercenary for the PlayStation Vita. Yeah, we've been working on it.
Killzone, I mean, one of the iconic Sony franchises, the first-person shooter, the ISA versus the Helgen. I'm a bit of a fan myself. I was planning this whole Visari joke before we did the lead-in intro, but it came in so fast. So Killzone Mercenary, it's a handheld experience. How does it differ from the core sort of Killzone games we've seen on consoles?
Okay, well actually it's very much a Killzone experience. We haven't had to remove anything. You'll recognize some of the places that you go to, and you'll definitely recognize the gameplay from Killzone. It's very much a Killzone game, but we have added a few extra little things to that, so excellent. I can talk about that.
I was looking at the trailer, and one of the things I recognized was the soldiers' outfits, you know, that were indicative of the classes in multiplayer. I want to talk to you about multiplayer in a second, but let's look right here. This looks like we're getting into a little bit of single-player footage. So set the stage for us here, Sam. What's going on?
Okay, so here, this is actually one of the levels that...
This is actually a live demo, folks. So we've got the Vita hooked up in the back, and so we're taking a look. Looks like we're playing as... Well, you just stabbed a Helgas, so we're playing as ISA.
Yes. Well, we're playing as a mercenary who is currently working for the ISA. At various points, you may not always be working for the ISA. Maybe you'll be working for the Helgast as well.
Whoever pays up?
Yeah, basically, it's all about the cash.
All right.
So, I mean, you can see here if we get... There we go. So you see you get a monetary reward for any action you perform in the game.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you're rewarded for stealth combat as well as all-out combat. And if you get through an area stealthily, you are rewarded.
Oh, you get a cash bonus then.
Yeah.
Nice.
And one of the reasons we do this is because the rewards that you get and the cash that you earn work both for multiplayer and single player.
Oh, no kidding, to help upgrade your loadout and...
It transfers from one to the other.
Nice.
Which is really cool. You know, we want everyone to have a good start to the game, so even new players, we've got everything unlocked from the start in the game. You just need enough cash to buy it.
And that kind of system brings a little flexibility with it, right? Because you can choose what you want to put the money into, what you want to go into first.
Yeah, so if you're a seasoned first-person shooter, you may have an ideal setup that you want to use. I know some people like to have a sniper rifle and a pistol. That's their loadout. But otherwise, you may just want to experiment. We've got some really, really cool new weapons called the Vanguard. Which are sort of extra to your primary and secondary weapons. You know, you've got your grenades and you've got your armor.
Sure.
You've got the Vanguard as well. The one that we've got here is the Porcupine. It's a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, heat-seeking rocket launcher. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully we'll get to see that in a minute.
I just saw like a little targeting reticle sort of following a player. Is that the heat-seeking rocket launcher?
Yeah, basically that's one of the really nice uses of the touchscreen that we've got in there. We didn't want it to be too intrusive, but in this case it works really, really well, because basically,
So that was just a touch on the screen?
You tap the screen, and where you've tapped on the reticle, it fires towards there. It's pretty satisfying.
Ba-boom. Nice. All right, so this is, so Mercenary, you're out for cash, are you part of like a mercenary guild, or, I mean, do you guys have any kind of motivation besides just get paid? Who cares about this ongoing blood feud between the Helgen and the ISA? Whatever.
No, there's a very in-depth story relating to the ISA and the Helgast, and we've got you playing as a mercenary because that gives you kind of an outside perspective where you can see how the factions relate to each other.
I'm just watching this brutal touch execution or melee kill. Oh, it's going right in there.
Interrogation. Right there.
No.
Yeah, you're mercenary.
Oh,
so you can gain intel as well. You can find out a little bit more about the game through interrogations.
Okay, through choosing not to stab someone in his brain from underneath his chin.
Yeah, no, you just scare him a little.
There you go. Yeah. And who's this kid? Is that a kid?
Yeah, he's kind of integral to the story.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so at the moment you're helping him through the level. You're trying to get him to safety, and yeah, he's quite important. But you'll find out about that when you play the game. So.
All right. Well, as much as I'm curious to know what the heck this kid is doing, wandering around in this area, I really want to talk about multiplayer, because Killzone multiplayer is one of my favorites. I love the classes. I love the battlefield structure, the flow of matches. Talk to us about the multiplayer experience here in Killzone Mercenary on the Vita.
Okay, so the Mercenaries multiplayer, you can play with up to 8 people, 4v4.
Okay.
Which works very well for the Vita screen, you know.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the loadout that you can get, you can buy anything that you want if you've got the money, and you can earn that cash in single player or multiplayer, and it all transfers over. It's all one single bank account.
And let's talk about the loadouts. Are there different classes? The medic able to revive players, the engineer able to put down turrets. Is there that kind of diversity, or are you guys rejiggering it a little bit?
No, it's all about your loadout. So you pick what you want to do based on the weapons that you've got with you, and you can change that as you're playing.
Will those abilities be part of the loadout, or is it pretty much just weapons-based combat?
It's weapons-based combat, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's 4v4, or is there an 8-person deathmatch everyone for themselves mode?
We've got a few different modes. So we've got deathmatch, and we've got team deathmatch. We've got a few others with the rotating different objectives that you do.
Perfect. Yeah, those Warzone matches.
Exactly. You'll recognize that from the other Killzones.
It changes from, kill the high-value targets, secure this place, plant this bomb. I love the dynamic battlefields that mode creates.
Yeah, we're going to try and make it so that you can use some of the new systems that we've got, like the Valor card. Do you know about the Valor card system?
No, please tell me about it.
Okay, so this is a way that we're going to be ranking everyone online. Every day we'll look at everyone's earnings. Like I said, it's all about the money. So we'll be looking at everyone globally, everyone's money.
Okay.
And they will gain a ranking based on that compared to everyone else. So you'll get a Valor card from this. And that Valor card is worth money, and in multiplayer you can drop that Valor card if you're killed, and you can pick up other people's, and the idea is that you collect them, or when you collect either a suit or the entire deck, then you get a massive cash reward. Again, it's all about the cash, it's all about getting that money to get the really good weapons that you really, really want.
Interesting. So the card system, obviously for kills and objective stuff, you're earning money. But when you kill a player online, they're going to drop their card, or a card, and you're going to basically collect these. What do they look like? I mean, are they like, trading cards of, Rico and Garza, or is it?
There's one in the top left of the corner there. It's just a little blackjack symbol. It's like a deck of cards. They'll each have a distinct symbol, and you'll know which ones you get. And the different suits relate to the kinds of weapons that you've been using, so you can kind of see how people have been playing based on their Valor cards.
Now, if this Valor card is the one that the player currently has, it's an angry face with a question mark above it. Does that just reflect the way you play, or does it influence the way you play? Does it give you any kind of attribute boost or anything like that?
I believe it's just a reflection of your current style of play. And the idea is that you vary your style of play so that you can gain them all.
All right, we've got some questions coming in here on Twitter. People are wondering about, we've seen obviously some touchscreen controls. Is that something that's going to be integral to your success in the game, or is that just something to help sort of enhance your experience with the game?
It enhances your experience. We have other options for controls, and you can customize how you control it. So there are things that you should use the screen for, but they're very intuitive, and they don't get in the way. It's things like swapping a weapon and stuff like that, and firing the porcupine, as we saw. Honestly, that is the best way to do it. It's really, really fun.
Oh yeah, and it actually, playing the Vita, at first it seems like I don't want to take my hands off the controls to press the screen, but it's really quick. And then I found that, I was playing, for example, Resistance Burning Skies. I found that actually, a grenade toss, actually being able to sort of direct it with my finger, like I end up enjoying the touchscreen as part of the first-person shooter experience. I didn't find it to be a detractor. Yeah,
no, that's good. That's what we're aiming for. We don't want it to be intrusive. We want it to enhance the gameplay.
Now, of course, Killzone Mercenary, not the only Killzone game here at E3. Yesterday on Stage 2, Danny O'Dwyer hosted a lengthy demo for Killzone Shadowfall. Are those two games linked in any way?
No, we've been working separately. Killzone Mercenary is just for the Vita, and Killzone Shadowfall is just for the PS4. So.
Sure. Now, Nate on Twitter wondering, obviously, Killzone Shadowfall, playing it on the big screen on the PS4, but will you also be able to play Killzone Mercenary on the big screen through the PS4 once you get the sort of remote play? Or I'm not sure exactly. It's not remote play. It's like the opposite of remote play.
Well, currently, we're just working on the Vita, but who knows what will be possible? I don't know anything at the moment, but we'll have to see.
Cool. All right. So that we're just getting a look at the single player here in Killzone Mercenary. How long is that single player experience gonna take the player to complete?
Okay, so the single player is 9 levels, and they each take about 45 minutes to an hour to complete generally, so what's that, 7 to 9 hours gameplay? It's pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, solid.
Especially for a handheld.
And then we've got the competitive multiplayer mode.
Yep.
And any other modes of play, any other features of Killzone Mercenary you want to talk about?
So the 7 to 9 hours was the basic playthrough from start to finish of the single player. Once you complete a level, it'll unlock 3 different modes for that level, 3 different challenges, sorry. And in those challenges you're given a bunch of new objectives which really encourage new gameplay styles. So we've got ones that will be either stealth or precision or explosive demolition kind of thing. So yeah, we just did that so that you can, we encourage people to try out different weapons and different styles of play, and it just really adds to the whole experience. It just completely changes how you play a level. Yeah. Feels.
Yeah. And as a reward for completing those objectives, you maybe perhaps get
a lot of money. Yeah.
Very cool. Interesting. I like the mercenary take. I like the idea of playing as on both sides of this conflict, which previously has been they're so diametrically opposed to each other. They hate each other. But in this world, there are also people who are like, yeah, whatever, just pay me, I'll shoot somebody, whoever. Is playing as a Helghast in any way different than playing as an ISA? I mean, people have been playing as Helghast in the competitive multiplayer for years, so is it sort of a similar experience? The weapons are maybe look a little different, but still the same core experience.
Okay, so in the game you don't play as the ISA or as the Helghast. You play as a mercenary who is fighting for the Helghast.
In the uniform, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're always a mercenary, and the weapons that you have are your own weapons. It's actually it's very integral to the story.
Oh, okay.
It's got a very in-depth, very interesting story that will take you through and maybe make you question why you're doing it all for money. Maybe there's a little bit more to this war than just the cash,
Okay.
But you can just decide it's for the cash. It's fine.
Very cool, Sam. All right, before we wrap up here, anything else you want to mention about Killzone Mercenary aside from telling folks when they can get their hands on it?
Well, they can get their hands on it in the US on the 10th of September is when it's released. Yeah, we're very excited about it. I mean, as you can see, we've got a Killzone experience on a handheld. It looks amazing, and we've tried to make it like it plays like Killzone. We really, really hope that you enjoy it.
Very cool. Sam, thank you so much for coming on stage and talking Killzone Mercenary for the PlayStation Vita. All right, folks, I'm going to be heading off for a little break. Kevin Van Ord's going to be coming on, I believe it's Kevin, for the next demo. And then we'll be back with a day full of live coverage here from E3 2013.